So I was recently speaking to a client of ours, and he was just like, "Yeah, like when I sell people, I don't sell them like the actual classes or like any of the actual like jujitsu techniques or anything like that. Like I just sell them on their goals." And I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like that's how sales kind of works and stuff like that, right?" But then I thought I spoke about this with him and stuff like that, and we're kind of coming to the conclusion. It's like, yeah, like most dojo owners actually don't get this. And like, I don't want to offend you if you're one of them with this video or anything like that, right? I just want to give you my perspective on this, and I may be wrong here, stuff like that. But like, most dojo owners, when they sell, well, like when they try to sign new people up, sell them, so to speak, um, they just focus on like explaining them the techniques that they're going to learn and like all of that stuff, and that instead of like telling them like, yeah, like if you join our class, like you're actually finally going to lose that weight, like you'll finally be able to look into the mirror again and be confident, so to speak, right? Whereas like most people, they don't focus on that when they actually try to sell them someone. Like they'll tell a complete beginner who's maybe a little bit overweight, that yeah, like you're going to learn this great leg lock technique and stuff like that for jiu-jitsu or whatever it is, right? And it's like, yeah, sure, that's like the actual like, let's say, technical stuff on how they get there, but like that's not what you should sell them on. Like you should sell them on like the benefits that they're going to get. And this is like such obvious stuff that I'm always like, yeah, like because I was like, before this video I was like, has it even worth it to do like a video about this? But then I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, it is, because there's so many like school owners out there who still get this wrong for some reason. Like you should like the class and stuff like that, all of that is super important, right? But when you want them to actually sign up, like you need to sell them on their goals. Like it's so obvious when you really think about it, right? Like I'm not saying here that you should then have mediocre classes or anything like that, or that technique isn't important or anything like that. Like 1,000% stuff like technique and so forth is still important, and it's like the techniques that they're going to learn or like the actual classes, that's more like the vehicle on how they're going to get to their goal, right? But like you don't want to sell them the vehicles, so to speak. Like let's say they're currently at point A, right, and they want to get to point B. So let's say point A is like Los Angeles, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but I hope this makes sense. So like point A is Los Angeles, and they want to go to San Francisco, right? You and like, if let's say you have the perfect vehicle to get them to San Francisco, right? You wouldn't just sell them on like the vehicle to get there. Like I mean, obviously it's part of it, but like you would rather just sell them on the dream of like what it's actually going to be like when they're in San Francisco and stuff like that, right? Like how they're actually going to get there. It does matter to a degree, but it doesn't matter as much as the fact that they have full confidence that they're actually going to get there, right? So you could, for example, give how could, well, then the question obviously is like, how do you give them confidence? Well, obviously, like one thing is the vehicle, but like it doesn't really make sense. Then if I tell you, hey, I can bring you from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and then I just start explaining like the facts about my car, like, hey, like my car has this good of an engine and stuff like that, and the wheels, like they're super good and stuff like that, you just sit there and be like, yeah, I don't really care about that stuff, right? But it's still important if I want to get you to San Francisco from Los Angeles, right? Like because without all of that stuff, we couldn't get there, right? And it's the same basically when you're selling someone. It's like you could tell them about all of the techniques and stuff like that, like what they're going to learn, but they're just going to be like, yeah, but can I actually get there? Like, can you actually bring me to point B, to my goal, to be able to actually look in the mirror and again and be confident, or to just like walk around at night on the streets and be like confident that I can defend myself? Like, can you actually get there? Like, they should know that you're able to do this because your classes are just that good, and because then they have like confidence in you that you can actually teach them this. But like you then, like instead of explaining like all of these techniques and stuff like that to you and stuff like that to you, just tell them like, hey, like here are these 10 other people, like just go ahead and ask them, right? Because they're maybe also in the class, like they've also all been starting when they were overweight and now they're there. And it's the same with the car thing, with the Los Angeles San Francisco example. Not that it's a kind of crazy one, but like I think it kind of makes sense. But like anyway, so I would just go to you, and if I would tell you, hey, yeah, I can 100% bring you to like San Francisco, it's like it's like then I would again not sell you on the car, But I would rather show you like, hey, here are these 10 other people who've all also come to San Francisco. And I would maybe tell you like, here are their phone numbers. Like, just give them a call real quick, right? Or whatever. Now, obviously, what I'm realizing right now, like the super important thing here is that there should actually be like a goal. Like if I'm trying to sell you to go from Los Angeles to San Francisco, but your goal, for example, is something like Seattle or something like whatever, right? Like if your goal is Seattle and I'm trying to sell you on the fact that I can bring it to San Francisco, it's like, well, that doesn't really make sense. Like it may bring you there a little bit, but like it's like maybe the airport there is better and like the flights to like Seattle there are better from San Francisco to Los Angeles. I don't know, whatever, right? But it's like it doesn't really bring you any closer to your goal, so to speak, realistically, right? So or it's basically just like a completely different goal, basically. Like you don't want to really go to San Francisco then, like you want to go to fucking Seattle. And it's the same with selling someone. Like you can sell someone as much as you want to on the fact that they're going to, God knows, like lose weight or stuff like that, but like maybe they're like pretty happy with being quote unquote a little bit overweight because they're still pretty strong and stuff like that, right? And they don't necessarily want to lose like any body fat or whatever, but I don't know, instead they want to like, what could that be? Instead they just want to be even stronger or something like that, right? But they don't really want to lose like any like body fat, for example, right? Let's just take this as an example. Well, then the question is, like, how do you know what their goals are? And that's where it really comes down to, like, before you even sell them, like you just want to go ahead and ask them like a bunch of questions, like, hey, like where are you currently at, like what are your goals and stuff like that, right? Like what have you tried in the past? Like, have you done any martial arts in the past? Did you try like any fitness programs in the past, right? And then they'll tell you, yeah, like I've tried a bunch of fitness programs in the past, but like all of them were just there for me to lose weight, but like I just want to get strong and stuff like that. And then like once you ask them a bunch of questions, like once you have good understanding there, like either tell them, yeah, hey, I can't solve this problem for you, right? Like just be honest, like, yeah, like our problems are not going to help with this. But if you know, like, yeah, like what he's telling me right now, or she, like this is 100% going to help them, so to speak, right? Like I just know that my classes are going to change their lives. Then fuck yeah, like just give everything to get them on board with your classes. Because if you 100% know that you can make this person stronger, or really quick, let's just go back to the San Francisco, Los Angeles example. Like, if I know for sure, like, and you also tell me, like, hey, yeah, you want to go to San Francisco, and I have the perfect vehicle to get there, like, I will do anything to get you from Los Angeles to San Francisco. And it's not just because I care about your money and you're going to pay me $100 once I've done that or whatsoever, right? It's like I'm gonna do that just because I know that I have this thing which can help you, so to speak, which can get you from Los Angeles to San Francisco, right? And so I'm gonna do, like, it's just my human instinct to do anything possible to actually get you from Los Angeles to San Francisco, because I 100% know that I can do it, and I 100% know that I have the most efficient way to get from Los Angeles to San Francisco, or I basically have the best way, the safest way, right? Whatever it may be, right? And if I just know, hey, I've done it for the other 10 people in the past as well, then it's like, it's gonna be really easy for you, like when you're like, let's go back to the school real quick, like when you're actually then selling someone, you know, hey, I can 100% make that person stronger, I can 100% help that person to lose weight, right? You're just, it's just your human instinct, like it would basically, it should feel wrong to you to then not give everything to get that person, that person into your classes, because like, you know, if they now walk out of that door and like, you haven't gotten them into your programs, right? It's like, you know that they will just like continue their life as they currently do, and like you know that their life won't change. So you need to do everything possible then to basically sell them and to get them on board in your class. And it's not about the money, but the thing is though, like if they then actually like pay, like put up $200 or whatever it is, right? Like once they've paid the money, they're like obviously more committed to it, because now they've actually put something down, and they're more likely to come to the class the next time again. Which is why it doesn't make sense for you to do something like, I don't know, like do a month of free classes, so to speak, and then you could tell them like after the class, yeah, hey, like you can do the entire month of free classes, and then you actually only need to pay. Then they're like, and then they're like, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds fantastic. Like in the moment they'll think that that's fantastic, but like then they'll never come to the second or third class, just because it's like they haven't put any money down. Like, and money is just like a tool here, so to speak. Like it's not really about like you making more money or anything like that, right? Obviously, it is as well. Like there's this dichotomy there, but like it's more about if they actually put down $200 and they sign up for the classes, they've put down money, and now they'll obviously be more committed to coming to the classes in the future because they've actually paid money for this, right? Now, obviously, if they have like gotten out how much money and they've only put down $200, then it doesn't really matter, right? It's like, well, if someone only pays $2 for the class, it's like, is it really worth it then? Which is why you should make your classes a little bit more expensive, for example, right? Which at the end will also lead to you making more money. So it's just like a win-win situation, right? But the key factor here is just like figure out what they need to, like what their actually goal is, and don't fucking sell them on like any techniques and stuff like that, right? And like once you figured that out and you know that you can actually help them, then just do anything possible to actually get them on board, so to speak. And that's the essence of this video. And I really hope that if you're one of these school owners who's still sending people on technique and stuff like that, like that I was just able to bring like a little bit more light into like that topic, so to speak, for you. And like I don't want to attack your ego or anything like that with this video, but I just think that this is how you should sell. And there's probably more advanced stuff to this, and like in a year I may do this video and I may have like a little bit of a different perspective, but like that's at least my current perspective and what has worked for me and for tons of my clients, on how they signed probably thousands of students at this point already for their school. So that said, take that with a pinch of salt. I've never ran a school myself, so I may be wrong here, but yeah, that said, if you do want, or if you do need like any help growing your school in 2025 or whatever, whenever you're watching this video, then you can click the first link in the description. It's just like a funnel. It's there to sell you on something. It's like, I want to help you grow your school, so to speak. So if there's a fit, or if you do like what you see on this funnel, you can book a call there. I don't want to overpitch you or anything like that. Just click that link if you want any help like with getting more students. And yeah, otherwise have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.